Om Shanti. Om Shanti. All can hear me? So today the topic is see but don't see. So before we go into this topic, it is good that we learn or understand the meaning of see, S-E-E. What is see? Normally we think we see with the eyes, but there are other meanings to the word see. For example, I tell my sister, see whether the cake is cooked. So she will feel the cake. Seeing is not just seeing, but she might put the fork into the cake to see whether it is cooked. So that is feeling. So when I say see whether the cake is cooked, she will feel whether the cake is cooked. Sometimes I'll tell the sister, see whether this is sweet enough. So she will taste the tea or the coffee and she'll say, yes, sweet enough. So when I say see whether the coffee is sweet, actually what I mean to say is taste whether the coffee is sweet. Same thing, I say feel this flower, it's so soft. So that is touching the flower to see the softness of the flower. So like that, this word see can mean see with the eyes, touch with the fingers, feel with the fingers, or hear, also see whether the neighbors have already come, just to watch out whether they have come or not. So this word see can have many, many meanings. And Baba says, see but don't see. So Baba just doesn't only mean to tell us about our eyes, that we should be careful about our eyes, but Baba also means that we should be careful overall with our senses. Hearing, see whether the telephone is ringing. I can't see the telephone ringing, I can hear the telephone ringing. So this word see can apply to the senses, all the senses. So see, but don't see. So now we have got a broader meaning of the word see, but don't see. The other thing I would also like to clarify is thoughts. We all think, we all have thoughts, and there are many kinds of thoughts. Normally we think of thoughts as positive, negative, normal, waste. But thoughts can also be divided into Tamo Pradhan thoughts. Tamo Pradhan thoughts are those thoughts that have got to do with the 5 vices: anger, greed, ego. These are Tamo Pradhan thoughts. Then when I have like desires, wanting, I have anxiety, I have a feeling that I'm not satisfied, these are like Tamo thoughts. So vices and waste thoughts. So vices are Tamo Pradhan, waste thoughts come under Tamo thoughts. And then what are Rajo thoughts? What are Rajo thoughts? We have desires, but very subtle desires. Like I want to be the head of the Brahma Kumaris. I want to be the head of the center. I want to be recognized. People must, appreciate me. Again, these are desires. They are like Rajo, but mostly for Rajo thoughts, when we do our duty according to the time and according to our duty, that can also be Rajo or Sato. And Sato Pradhan thoughts are thoughts of Baba. When we have like full of pure thoughts and we think of Baba, those are Sato Pradhan thoughts. So now we know see means it's a lot of things, and thoughts again, whether they are Tamo or Raju or Sato, again these are thoughts. So thoughts and seeing, they come together. Thoughts and seeing come together. And now when we use the word see and don't see, automatically we think of the eyes. But Baba talks about one eye, two eyes, three eyes, and four eyes. There are four different kinds of eyes. Now let us look at these one by one. Slowly, you can also imagine in your mind's eye what I am talking about. The first eye, E-Y-E, Mata. The first eye is when I am in my mother's womb. I do not see with the two physical eyes because I am not born yet into the physical world, but I, in the mother's womb, I can feel. And Baba talks about this. Baba says, the baby in the womb cries and asks for forgiveness. The baby in the womb will promise that it will not make any more mistakes. The baby in the womb, for example, it tells God that I will definitely not do anything bad. So the baby can see, can feel, and that's also seeing. And Baba says the baby in hell is like in a jail. So there is unhappiness in the womb, there's discomfort in the womb, and the baby can feel it. It is seeing it, it is feeling it. But the baby in a mother's womb in heaven, it feels that it's like a palace. It's happy. The mother is happy, the baby is happy. And so the baby is born happy. So when we see ourselves in the mother's womb, actually we are using the inner eye, the eye of the soul or the eye of the heart, and then we talk to God, or we cry, or we are happy, the first eye. And then when we are born into the physical world, and we have the five senses, so we start using the two physical eyes to see physical things. So we use our eyes mostly, almost 100%, to look outwards. Who is coming, who is going, what is happening, who is eating, what should they be doing, where can I go, is the bus coming? All our seeing is outside. We are quite extrovert, we look outside, we talk to people outside, we hear things about the outside, we listen to gossip from the outside. And so in hell, most of our senses are basically focused on the outside, and there is a lot of extroversion, there is a lot of noise, there is a lot of negative thoughts, there is a lot of unnecessary thoughts, and a lot of Tamo Pradhan and Tamo thoughts, and also Rajo thoughts. Two eyes. But what happens in heaven? Even though we have these two eyes, we also use the eye of the self. So through the two eyes, we exhibit the eye of the inner self with love, with peace, with acceptance, with happiness, with joy. So the way we use our eyes, either from inside out or outside in. When it is heaven, from inside we express the inner self with love and beauty. But when we are in hell, like in Kali Yuga, what do? We take scenes from the outside, noises from the outside, happenings from the outside, people from the outside, and we take them in. It's outside in. Again, we use our eyes. Now, we come to Baba. When we come to Baba, Baba introduces the third eye, the eye of the soul. Baba teaches us the eye that has opened, the eye of the intellect, the inner eye, the eye of the soul. And Baba gives us this divine eye. So there is one thing that we should always remember. When I am using the first eye in the mother's womb, all the other eyes are closed except the first eye. Now when I am born and I use the two eyes, the first inner eye is closed and I use my two physical eyes. When Baba introduces me to the third eye, the soul, then I should close my two physical eyes. I look inside. Because with my two physical eyes, before coming to Baba, I was an extrovert. And now, with the third eye, I journey inwards, I look inwards, I look inside, I touch myself, I understand myself, I see the real me, I enjoy the real me, I heal the real me, I make the real me strong, I make the real me holy, I make the real me belong to God, I make the real third eye me belong to the godly family. So it's more introvertedness, and then after the acceptance is done, after the feeling is experienced, after I become the embodiment of the third eye, I express it outside with love, with peace, with acceptance, with harmony, with forgiveness, with mercy, so many things. Third eye. So when I use my third eye, my two physical eyes are closed. Now we are Brahmins, we have the third eye of knowledge, we have the third divine eye given to us, it is ours. So we are very happy as Brahmins, and we start checking ourselves, understanding knowledge, and becoming a happy Brahmin. Now what happens after many years as a Brahmin? We do Amrit Vela, we come to class, we also participate in the activities of the center, we go to Madhuban, and we are like half mature Brahmins. Not fully grown, but half. So what happens when we are half grown up as BKs, half mature Brahmins? We see others and we ask the others, oh, you are from this country, how many years in Gyan? We ask them and they'll say 20 years and we 10 years, and we'll think, wow, they are 20 years in Gyan, they must be real yogis. I am not yet. So we start looking at them with eyes that sort of appreciate them, look up to them. And then suddenly we see that they are sleeping during Amrit Vela, or they are smoking in the toilet, or they are gossiping. And then we think, I am 10 years, I don't smoke. I'm 10 years in Gyan, I don't gossip. 20 years also can gossip. How come? Then my third eye closes and my fourth eye opens. I see the faults of BKs. I see the weaknesses of BKs. I see the weaknesses of the family. I see the weaknesses of other BKs. I compare, and then I tell myself, they are senior to me. They are more years in Gyan, and they are like this, so I am okay. And so when I use my third eye that is closed, and I use my fourth eye, I start looking for trouble. And then I come into sorrow. I come into laziness. I come into carelessness. I stop respecting others. I stop having a keenness to listen to Murli sincerely. And I feel that everybody is like that. So I'm also like that. So this sort of a carelessness slowly comes into us. And we all go through these stages sooner or later. First there is forming, and then in the forming years we see ourselves, and then we see the outside world. We use our third eye, and then when we use our fourth eye, we start storming. We start storming. So this means that we have not understood Baba. When Baba says, see but don't see, what have I understood from that? So now, brothers and sisters, I would like to explain about another word that we usually see in the Murlis. Baba says, this study is very important. You become rich through this study. You earn an income through this study. And what do we think? Study Murli. So when I listen to the Murli every day, I am studying. I am a good student. No. 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 Study? What is study? See, I'm studying in the middle school. What do I study? I have maths, I have English, I have history, I have geography, I have science, few other subjects. All those subjects we clump together, we group together and say, study. So when Baba talks about study, it's not just Murli. It means Gyan, Murli, Yoga, Dharana, Seva. All the four means study. So many of us, we just focus on the Murli and we forget about yoga seriously. We forget about Dharana and we forget about Seva. Otherwise, what do? Most BKs, they listen to the Murli, they understand the points of the Murli in theory, and then they want to do Seva. Listen, no churning, no Dharana, at once Seva. So listen and give. Listen and give. Take and give. This is not what Baba means. Let me explain. We all know that the Dadis, they had this 14 years of tapasya. What did they have? 14 years of tapasya. What tapasya did they do? They had Gyan, daily Murli. Evening they had churning. So Gyan. Then they had regular yoga. Long hours of yoga, 14 years. And then their dharana, their daily activities was closely monitored by Brahma Baba and Mama Saraswati. She'll call them and say, is this what happened? Don't repeat it, okay? So they also test the dharana. So they only had 3 subjects for 14 years. And after the 14 years, all the dadis and the senior brothers and sisters were introduced to the 4th subject, seva, service. So, when the dadis who had already understood Gyan and became the embodiment of Gyan, they were also the embodiment of dharana and yoga. When they serve, their words that come out from their mouth are like spears, anakpana, spears that hit the soul. So when the dadi says, any dadi, she says, I'm a soul and I love Baba, my father, you can see it in their face. You can see it in their voice. You can feel it in their vibrations. You can know it in your heart that they are speaking just one language, the language of one. Thoughts, words, actions. The language of one. One thought, one word, one action, same. So when they say, Baba is my father, and when I belong to my father, I have the whole world in front of me. And so when we listen to them, we get so excited, we get so happy, we feel they are so good, we can see their purity, we can see their sincerity, we can see that they are talking from the heart, we can see that they are not seeking name, fame, position, we can see that they are in love with God, we can see that they are speaking the truth. But we are born in the age of seva. So the age of Gyan, Dharana, and Yoga were in the first half of the Brahma Kumari cycle. The Brahma Kumari's cycle. Now we are in the second half, and we have come into the Rajo, Tamo, and Tamo Pradhan stages. So what do? We forget about yoga, true yoga. We sit. We can sit for 1 hour, but it doesn't mean that we had yoga for 1 hour. So we are quite shallow in yoga, mostly not much dharana, Gyan, not much churning, and we jump into the field of seva. What happens? We teach this knowledge to 1,000 souls, and one emerges. We speak to 1,000 souls, and one emerges. And then we think, at least I've made one BK. At least I've seen one Brahma Kumari. In Madhuban, they say, each one teach one. I have taught one. We think like that, but no. Who touches that soul to become a BK? My teaching of the 7 days course, or Baba's touching of the soul? Which one? We think, I gave a good class and he or she became a BK. So, when we look very closely at the 4 subjects, Now we are seeing, now we are all seeing. We are talking about seeing, don't see. So when we are saying about the 4 subjects, we only take and share. So we can have a lot of seva, but very little hasil, very little benefit, very little. Because people will say, good, good, but they won't come. They say, yes, yes, but they won't come. They say, true, true, you carry on, I'll come later. So, what did we do? Just seva of the voice. No seva of the heart. No seva of dharana. No seva of churning, gyan, but we just use the voice. Because in Kali Yuga, we can talk, talk, and talk. Empty talk. So, what I have been thinking is, why Baba says, little effort, a lot of success. But we do a lot of effort and there is little success. So it's not according to what Baba is teaching. So again, I come back to the topic, see but don't see. So how can I serve with my third eye that Baba has given me? How can I close my fourth eye? How can I close my 2 eyes? How can I just use my third eye, the divine eye? So I start looking at the Murli more closely. I study the Murli more closely. Every sentence in the Murli has a long story to tell. Every thought in the Murli is a Ramayana, a Mahabharata story. Long, long, long. So, what did I hear from the Murli? Baba says, if you can't give a class, don't think that you're hopeless. You can give pure thoughts, pure feelings. You can bless. You can give out vibrations. You can do yoga. Your forehead can do seva. Your eyes can do seva. Your drishti can do seva. Your smile can do seva. Your karma yoga can do seva. Your aura can do seva. Your actions, though very simple, are very God-like, can do seva. Your sweet nature can do seva. Your character can do seva. So seva is not just thoughts, speaking, speaking, speaking. A lot of effort and very little gain. So it is better to do seva in so many other ways and also to concentrate on the self. I have been thinking about this topic for a long time. Now let me say, I stop using my voice to give a class and I just start churning the Murli. What happens in my churning? I appreciate the Gyan, Baba's Gyan, much, much more. Number 2, that churning will take me closer to Baba and my yoga becomes better. There is a silent transformation happening in my soul. I feel softer, I feel happier, I feel contented, I feel so blessed, I feel I'm so special. So, there are so many ways of doing seva, and now what's happening in Kali Yuga? There are many, many hundreds and thousands of teachers all talking, talking, talking. Now, if we are smart, we can choose the teachers that we want. The teachers that are senior, the teachers that have experience, the teachers who have long-standing prestige, the teachers who are good in churning knowledge. Can I just listen to them and cut away all the rest so that I take enough input into myself and I can churn on what I hear? I can churn on what I hear and I can just churn on those things. So, brothers and sisters, there are many ways of doing service. Now I come to another very, very important point of today's class. Very important point of today's class. See, but don't see. What is our aim and object? Baba says, I've given you your aim, I've given you your object. In bhakti, in devotion, there is no aim, there is no object. So what is our aim? To go home. What is our object? To become Narayana. So easy and so hard. Believe me, it is very, very hard to go home. How can I go home? Baba has taught me the method. Remember me in my home. Remember me in my home. So I, the soul who has come from Paramdham, I am now in the physical world. I remember my home, Paramdham, sweet, silence, peaceful, quiet, full of Brahm element, home. There I find peace, there I find rest, there I am my true self, my Sato Pradhan self. And who is there? My eternal Father, the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Father, Paramatma. He lives in Paramdham, and I look at him from this world, in this body. I forget the world, I forget the body for a while, and with my third eye that Baba has given me, I go home to my eternal home. I go to my eternal Father and I rest there, absorbing all the light and all the might. What do I absorb? In deep yoga, in focus, I, the soul, in yoga, in the home, in front of my eternal, beautiful Baba, I absorb his light and his might. What is the soul? What am I, the soul? I, the soul, am a mind, an intellect, a memory. I am light. I am might, Shakti, power. I am 5. Mind, intellect, sanskara, light, might. So when I have yoga, I complete fulfilling my perfect image, my true image, light and might, And in the physical world, I attend to the murli, I churn, my sanskara accepts the churning, I have dharana, I have yoga, and my vibrations do the seva. So what happens to me? I complete all the 4 subjects, and what happens to me, the soul? The mind is purified, the intellect is sharpened, the sanskaras are pure, I'm full of light and might. I go home. When I go home, I am not stopped by Dharamraj. I am not stopped because I am complete. The complete soul, karmatit soul, goes home complete. Now let's look at another side of the story. Okay? I want to be Narayan. Narayan is a king. What kind of a king will there be in the golden age? Dharana, number 1. Yeah? Knowledge, number 1. Love, number 1. Light, number 1. Might and power, number 1. Do I have all this? Or did I waste my time as a BK in Kali Yuga doing seva? So what we can do to make our life more beneficial, more interesting is if we can stop doing vacha seva, voice seva, and do more on the mind seva. We are using the divine intellect, we are looking inwards, we are emerging the virtues, and we are spreading the vibrations. Mansa seva. Now, if I just do verbal service, Baba has been telling us, you have a burden of sins of 63 births. And then you can say, maybe in the 63 births, I built a temple, or I gave food for the poor, or I built a hospital, or I helped the poor, or something. I could have done something good. And Baba says, yes, if you give money to the hospital in your next birth, in Dwapara Yuga, Akali Yuga, you will be healthy. If you give money and you build a school, in your next birth, you will have good education. If you help the poor, in your next birth, you will be born rich. So, during the whole of Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga, 2,500 years, we have done some good and we have reaped the benefit in the next birth. But we were body conscious. So what we saw, what we heard, what we talked, what our families were, what our interactions were, what our contacts were, what our jobs were, what our positions were, all of them were sin, 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 papa, pap, sin. So because there is sin, there is no bab. Where there is papa, there is no baba. Where there is baba, there is no papa. So what is Baba teaching us? To burn away our sins and to increase our light and might, or to make the soul powerful. to make the soul powerful. To make the soul powerful, light and might. So I become a complete Narayana soul or a Sri Lakshmi soul. So when I do Mansa Seva or when I do Karma Yoga in Baba's thoughts, I am doing Seva, I am thinking of Baba, I am spreading vibrations, I am cleansing my inner self, my soul, and all the 4 subjects are covered. So in Karma Yoga, 4 subjects are covered. In Mansa Seva, 4 subjects are covered. In Yoga, 4 subjects are covered. But when we just do talking Seva, we just feel happy, but there is no accumulation. I'm happy I shared Baba's knowledge, but I'm not the embodiment. I'm not the embodiment of it. It is not part of my sanskars. I'm just talking about it because I love it, and that is the character of Kali Yuga. I love it, I talk about it. And what kind of seva can I do? Very little. In fact, very little, a lot of effort, and very little gain. So, we never know who are the true yogis. It doesn't mean that if I am a teacher of Brahma Kumaris, I am a good yogi, I'm a senior. Or if I can give classes, I'm brave enough to give classes, or I'm brave enough to read the Murli, I'm good. Nothing like that. Only God knows what my number is. We are all number-wise. So, Baba teaches us to become responsible, to see and not see. Dadi Prakashmani gave the meaning of Raja Yoga. What is Raja Yoga meditation? Raja Yoga meditation, according to Dadi Prakashmani, is whatever you see with your 3rd eye and not with your 2 eyes. That is Raja Yoga. What you see with your 3rd eye and not your 2 eyes. Baba says, all the people are already dead. We see the people, they are not dead. Baba says it's a graveyard. They are dead already because we see them with our physical eyes. But what we don't see, a heaven is coming. Baba is establishing a heaven. Baba is establishing a new world. Can I see that? Can I see a world full of lovely people? Can I see new relationships? Can I experience the new relationships? Can I experience my sweet home? Can I touch my sweet Baba? Can I become like my Baba? So much to do on the inside. 99% of a Raja Yogi life is inside. Only, according to me, only 1% is what I see outside. When people smile, is it from the heart? When people talk, is it from the heart? When people see with the eyes, is it from the heart? Anything that comes from inside to outside with love, that is Raja Yoga. How great is that? And for me to become a king, I must get full marks in all 4 subjects. Gyan, Yoga, Dharana, Seva. So, Mansa Seva is good. Meditation, Yoga Bhattis, good. Karma Yoga, good. Little Vacha Seva, service of words. Because words can be very, very deceitful. People's body language can be very deceitful. People's turning can be very, very dangkal, very shallow. And so we cannot know, because I heard a story some time ago. There was a group of BKs going to Madhuban, and they were on the flight. Among the group of BKs, there was one new BK, and he was asking the other BKs, what is soul consciousness? And so they began to tell him what soul consciousness is. The soul is here, and don't use these eyes. Just imagine, see yourself here, the point of light. You are that, you are living, you are thinking. But he couldn't accept, he didn't feel it, he couldn't understand, he was not satisfied. When they landed in Madhuban, there was Didi Manmohini. She welcomed them with her drishti. Just looking into Dadi Manmohini's eyes, he said, I know what is body, soul consciousness. Just one look and you go beyond. One look. Satu pandangan sekilas. Just one look. And he says, they told me in so many hundreds of words, I didn't understand. And one look from Dadi Manmohini, I understood. I felt, I realized, I experienced one moment. Just, Baba says, 1 second for Jivan Mukti. 1 second, I understand I am God. So, normally, I try to minimize my classes, and I try to discourage BKs from giving classes, because there is another hitch. Because we have to give more importance to Gyan and yoga and dharana. What is the hitch that I'm talking about? Because I'm in Indonesia, and I've done seva in quite a few places. And over the years, in my experience, I have understood a lot of things that are not spoken, unsaid words. What I understand is, if I belong to Center A, where do I belong? I belong to Center A. I got my 7 days course in Center A. I come to Center A, I listen to the Murli, and I am in the Center A Brahmin family. Now when I'm in the Brahmin family of Center A, and I see the weaknesses of the Brahmin family, the BKs of Center A, what am I seeing? The weaknesses. Oh, this soul is 20 years, still cannot do yoga. This soul is 20 years, sometimes comes for Murli, sometimes no. I am 5 years, I'm better than them. So when we start looking at the defects of our Center A BK family, what? I see the defects of my Center A BK family defects. I make a wall, tembok, between me and others. I build a wall. Baba wants the family to be together, but I'm seeing the weaknesses and I'm building a wall. What happens? Now, I want to do service in Center B. Can I do service in Center B? No. My own center I cannot serve. And I want to serve Center B. Or, during World Meditation Hour, I put the globe in front of me and I give sakash to the whole world. Can I give sakash? No, because there is a wall in front of me. What did Baba say? What did Baba say? Even if a Brahmin soul has 99 defects and one virtue, see the virtue, bless the soul, and hope that that soul can come up. Mansa Seva, family Seva, center Seva, Yagya Seva. If the family may be 3 or 4 souls, among them there's competition, among them there's jealousy, among them there is comparison. Or there can be a center with 100 souls, and among them there is jealousy, among them there is competition. Where can we do seva? How can we do world service? And so, see but don't see has a very, very close connection with another slogan: self-transformation for world transformation. Same thing. Same thing. I cannot change. I want to change others. My center A is not united. I want to serve center B. So people say, sister, why do you cut seva? Why do you cut seva? This is the reason. Because whatever we do, we have to get the blessings of center A. Every soul in center A must give blessings to me to serve center B. And after I've got blessings from center B and center C, D, E, F, I can serve another country, another world, the whole world. So we cannot jump from our center and serve that center. Baba says, another beautiful slogan, charity begins at home. My own lokiks are unhappy. I want to serve others. My own center vasis are not happy with me. My center family, BK family, not happy with me. I want to serve others because I am clever. It doesn't work like that. We work on vibrations. We work on feelings. We work on love. We work with cooperation. We work with blessings. We work with Baba's vision. And we work as Baba's right hand. How can I be Baba's right hand if I am not happy in the family, BK family that I was born in? How can I serve if my BK family, Lokik family, also don't bless me? So work from inside, outside. See, but don't see. Look inside. Self-transformation for world transformation. Yagya service of your own yagya. And self-transformation, world transformation, charity begins at home. If I want to be king, I need to go home. Now, final one little caution. If I do a lot of seva, center A, center B, center D, center D, center, a lot of seva, I do speech seva. I'm just talking, but I have no yoga and no dharana. What happens? When I have no yoga and no dharana, I talk and talk and talk and talk. What happens? When there is destruction, I go home. When I go home, I am stopped in the subtle region. My sins are not burnt. My sins can only be burnt by Yoga Agni. My sins can only be burnt by Yoga Agni. And if I have not burnt my sins with yoga as a BK, I will be stopped in the subtle region and given a beating. My status will come down. Can I become a king? Is my seva useful? Nothing. So we have to think smart and work smart, because seva is not only the life of a BK, there are many other aspects to the life of a Brahma Kumari, the student of God, the protector of the Yagya, the ancestor of the world, and the deity and angel soul. It has to be so smart. Work smart, not work hard. Okay? Om Shanti. Thank you so much.